People should be very concerned because it's just another step in what the government is doing to prevent themselves from being exposed to the public.
A new bill in Topeka has First Amendment scholars and the Kansas media raising a red flag as the Kansas House is poised to take action. That bill would make it a criminal offense to record police, EMS, or any first responder within 25 feet if they determined you're a distraction. I'm John Holt.
I'm Bria Love, and it's already passed the state Senate. Fox 4's Malik Jackson joining us from KCK tonight. So Malik, you're getting reaction from both sides.
We are, and good evening, Bria and John. The interesting thing about this particular law is that there's already a law in the state of Kansas that prevents anyone from interfering with a law enforcement officer. As one lawyer put it to me, this looks like the Kansas Legislature trying to essentially do something for the looks of it, but he says that this appears to infringe on everyone's in this state's constitutional First Amendment rights.
If I'm sitting here in the passenger seat and an officer stops the driver, I have to stay 25 feet away. Well, that's 4 feet away.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. I could be arrested merely for being a passenger and recording what's going on away 4 feet away.
Because Senate Bill 452 would require you to be 25 feet away. The main objective of the bill is to create an enforceable distance rule, one you could be arrested for violating. It extends many Kansas laws to include federal officers and property under certain statutes. It would also strengthen legal protections for law enforcement and government actions.
If an officer says, hey, I'd like you to please step back, then you step back.
Kansas State Senator Starnes sits on the committee that sponsored this bill. He also voted for it, helping it clear its first hurdles as it now heads to the Kansas House.
If people want to film it, they can film it. They can still hear what's going on. They can do all those things that you're used to doing. It's just the fact that you can't be closer than the 25 feet.
They say they can zoom in. You can't zoom in on audio. You can't zoom in from 25 feet of an officer calling a black person the N-word. It's not just video, it's audio as well.
I'm standing just 5 feet at this moment from my photojournalist Adam Wilson. But the new law in the state of Kansas, if passed by the Kansas House and signed by the governor, Governor Kelly, it would require me to be 25 feet away if the law enforcement officer viewed me as a distraction. So now I would be this far away from Adam and his camera. You can hear the difference in what the microphone picks up. Starnes says this bill was introduced in part due to the two shootings that we saw in Minnesota that left 2 people dead, including Renee Good, who used to live in Kansas City.
This law is not about protecting the police from interference. This law is about protecting the police from being exposed for doing things wrong.
We're able to do their duties without others interfering or being in the way to possibly hurt themselves or others.
Now, there is a similar law to this in the state of Missouri, but Rhodes says that has a line in it that ensures that First Amendment rights are not infringed on. Also, he says by adding that one line to this law in Kansas, that would erase the concerns that so many across the Sunflower State, are raising. We also reached out to the governor's office, and she says that she doesn't typically comment on legislation before she takes action. It is important to mention that Republicans in the state of Kansas do have a veto-proof majority, so even if she does veto it, it doesn't necessarily stop this from becoming the law here in Kansas. Of course, Fox 4 will stay on top of the story. Bria, John.
Malik Jackson in Kansas City, Kansas tonight. Malik, thank you.